Hello, everyone. This is the leader of the resistance, and we're getting closer to the end of Tycoon 2. Now, the top parts of this floor are actually known as the CEO's office. Damn it. Because I'm lazy!
Asian bad, I was born this way. This tiger ain't come to play. I'm the biggest boy in this scene. I'm big, I'm bad, I'm mean. Cross me, end up costly. I'm big, I'm bad, I'm bossy. One man don't need a posse. If I was you, don't cross me. I got my eyes on you. Straight from night till noon. Me versus you, you'll lose. Think before you move, yeah. I gain my respect. I got here and now and next. None of you lot can test. Two bars circular, creep up behind ya. Won't be hard to find ya. Two bars
never all that hard. But keeping my grip on a life with you was never in the cards. I lifted you up whenever you were down, but you kept staring at the stars. Now I'm all alone. You were the last Cavallard.
Skelly, you get down from there this instant.
What's me?
Right now, Snowy, or you're in timeout.
How many great pubes you plucked today, you old bag?
Your timeouts are a joke. You're a terrible parent. I'm a terrible parent? You're a child abuser.
Lois declares the Griffins and the Browns will no longer have anything to do with each other, so if Peter wants to talk to Cleveland about his wife getting mad, he'll need a very convincing disguise.
You have any idea how fast you were going, Sir Peter?
Hey, Cleveland, see this so we can talk without getting spotted by Lois and Donna.
I need you to step out of the car, Sir Peter.
There's gotta be a better way.
There's gotta be.
Sorry, Cleveland, it's gotta be authentic.
Straight out.
Impersonating a cop is a pretty serious crime, one that'll earn Mr. Griffin a year in jail and a $1,000 fine. The Griffins don't always hate each other's guts, though. Sometimes they make beautiful family memories together, like that one time they swam in a polluted lake.
Holy crap!
I think it's a safe bet that that's responsible.
And that time they cyberbullied a girl to death.
Very sorry we cyberbullied that girl to death. We still want to snowmobile today, though. Please let me give you money in our bank account. Amen.
Shockingly, bullying isn't actually a crime, but if it was horrific enough for the girl to have killed herself, Peter definitely deserves to be charged with harassment at the very least. The crime would only get him jailed for another year and fined $500, which is insulting. Oh, by the way. But you gotta keep in mind that the dead girl's family could actually file a wrongful death claim against Peter and sue him for all the money he got. Which, I mean, isn't a lot, probably, but it's something. Peter got the first promotion of his life in the episode Mr. Saturday Night, but it only lasted about 15 seconds, and that's honestly impressive for someone as incompetent as him. His career day in school and Mort has just finished exposing which parents' terrible hemorrhoids. Now it's Peter's turn to talk about his job.
Hey, you know what I do? Working at the toy factory, and you know what I do there?
But you're just one of those low-level singular guys who stay here all day screwing heads on dolls. Ooh, is it on trade? I don't know.
Peter turns off impressed about working a low-end job. Lois suggests he invite Mr. Weed for dinner and ask for a promotion. Peter makes him do the deal without doing or saying anything stupid. Shocked, Weed, his boss vows to make him head of toy development. This is an amazing opportunity for him. Too bad Brian had to ruin it.
Joking.
He's dead. Mr. Weed's death was a freak accident, so Peter won't be facing any manslaughter charges. However, he does obstruct justice in the next scene by trying to hide the body. Not the most dignified or smartest of places.
Random body search. Oh my God, Lois, stall him.
What are you doing?
Just stall him, Lois.
No charges are brought against Peter in the show, but the dinner roll that killed Weed was taken into custody. In the real world, though, Peter would be facing a year in prison and $1,000 in fines for obstructing justice. Peter loves being a passenger princess. But he loves driving like a complete and utter tool even more. Here he is looking at a comic book instead of the road.
He's gonna do it. Oh, he's still hear me, you ridiculous man.
And here he is trying to drive with his feet.
Roadhouse.
Peter also drives under the influence a lot.
What the hell are you doing?
Buddy, I'll have a triple cheeseburger and large fries, and you sell pants? Hey, sometimes when daddies drive home drunk, they come from far away places, but it's okay, because they didn't get arrested, and they're still kind of drunk, so they think it's okay.
You should know that Mom has emotionally let you go.
The really awful accidents Peter's terrible driving caused deserved their own segment, but those clips had earned Mr. Griffin 3 years of playing and $1,400 in fines for 2 counts of reckless driving and 2 counts of driving under the influence. He'll probably be ordered to go to AA as well, but I don't think he's allowed back after what happened last time.
Hey, you want to addicted to alcohol?
Peter embarrasses Lois constantly throughout the show, and this is just one of the many examples.
Sorry, fat wife coming through. Sorry, excuse me, fat wife. Oh, hold on a second. All right, please throw.
Peter publicly fat shaming his wife when he himself belongs on My 600-Pound Life is already enough reason for Lois to file for divorce, but sometimes her husband does do sweet things like busting her out of jail. In the episode Breaking Out is Hard to Do, Lois becomes a kleptomaniac and gets thrown in jail for theft. With the only hygienic and semi-normal member of the family gone, the Griffin house becomes totally filthy.
Boy, I sure miss Lois. Wish she was here to clean up all this stuff. Hey, what's this?
Mustard.
Oh, that's right. We had hot dogs last week.
Sick of being more of a slob than usual, Peter decides to bust his wife out of jail. That sounds like a tough job, but it's actually pretty easy if your mouth can expand to 10 times its normal size.
Have a nice day.
Joe chases them all the way to Asia Town, but Lois ends up handing herself in anyway. She gets let off for her crimes, but Peter is going down for 3 years for helping her escape prison. He'd also be getting fined 500 schmackaroons, which is super cheap in comparison to all the stuff that Lois stole in that episode. Why the hell did Lois even agree to go on one date with Peter Griffin, let alone marry him? He treats her like dirt and humiliates her anytime they go out in public, and yet she sticks by him again and again, even when he trash talks her on live television. In the episode You Can't Do That on TV, Peter is ready for another day of doing super important and totally not creepy things.
Take pictures of lesbian butts. Joe and Quagmire, a coffee table book called Lesbian Butts in 80s Jeans. Already got the first chapter right here.
Where'd you take all these pictures?
You know, coffee houses, Chevy dealerships, all the usual places.
Lois orders Peter to stay home and watch Stewie while she runs errands, and after breaking the vacuum cleaner in their spiteful rage, she has some father-son time with his baby by comparing the sizes of their... Guess whose was the smallest?
All right, let's see what you get. Stupid game, anyways.
Peter later becomes fascinated by the whole preschool show Jolly Farm Review, and his heart rips in two when he finds out it's getting canceled. To build the upbeat boy in his soul, Peter starts his own kids' TV show called Petey's Funhouse. Lois gets pissed at her husband for wasting his time putting on a stupid TV show instead of helping around the house, and her constant nagging gives Peter an idea for a new character.
Go read Twilight and do mouth stuff on me, even though it's been a day and a half since I've showered, and I've used several public bathrooms in the interim. Sounds like this could go on for a while, kids. Hey, Saggy Naggy, I know what'll cheer you up. Do you like pie? I guess. Well, this tastes.
Saggy Naggy becomes despised by the children of Quahog, and as a result, Lois can't even go grocery shopping without getting beat up by children.
Yeah, let me go through some.
However, Peter does get sweet karma at the end of the episode when he stupidly brings this aggressive puma on stage.
Petey learned a long song.
Peter committed child endangerment in that episode by bringing a dangerous wild animal on stage in front of a live audience of literal children, and that crime will add 3 years to his jail time and another $1,000 fine. But honestly, he deserves jail for portraying Lois as a raging puppet. That could only lead to a defamation lawsuit, though. But everybody knows Peter Griffin ain't the most thoughtful of husbands out there. From taking his wife on vacation to a retirement home to forcing her to become a boxer, he does a lot of pretty garbage things. However, the episode Baby It's Cold Outside surely proved that Lois married a complete psychopath. After remembering National Dachshund Day and not his own wedding anniversary, Peter panics and books a last-minute dinner date on a boat. It's super romantic and the couple goes skinny dipping, but Peter gets mistaken for a walrus. Hold on, Rose, you with hot chocolate. Hey, forget Rose hogging that door. If Peter was on the Titanic, he'd take all the lifeboats for himself, screw the women and children. Fortunately, the shark turns out to be a friendly dolphin, so Lois doesn't end up getting ripped to shreds while her heroic husband relaxes on dry land with a cup of hot chocolate. She makes it back to the shore, and Peter races to the scene to wrap her in a warm towel and profusely apologizes for leaving her out to die. Peter Pumpkin Eater 69's selfishness was staggering in that episode. I mean, he could have waited 2 seconds for Lois to get in the boat, but oh no, he just raced off and left her to be eaten. Abandoning his wife in the ocean would be considered reckless endangerment, and the penalty is 7 years in the big house plus 5K in fines. Peter would also be facing 6 months in prison and a $1,000 fine for invasion of privacy. This would also be for photographing Lois washed up on the shore naked and then posting the intimate photo on social media under the hashtag beached whale. Yeah, that was definitely his most brutal roast ever. Peter Griffin just accepts whatever life throws at him, even when his arms got ripped off and he had to spend months growing them back.
Are you okay to swim like that?
Am I okay to swim? I can only flap about like a motorized tug toy. Please help me.
So when the chiropractor adjusted him to his real height and teenage girls started calling him Slender Man, he just rolled with it.
Hey, Peter, would you get off your phone?
Sorry, young girls keep killing each other because they think I'm the Slender Man now.
Telling them to kill each other?
It's just a goof.
Goading children to kill each other for a joke is the sickest, most twisted thing I can ever think of ever. And Slenderman Peter would rightfully be charged with soliciting murder. If convicted, he'd be caged for the next 20 years and fined $50,000. And going to jail when he's that tall would really suck. He'll bang his head every morning and he'll never find a jumpsuit that fits properly. It's what he deserves. Remember the fat guy strangler? He was Lois' secret brother who got locked away in the mental hospital. Peter has a secret brother too, but he's held captive in a storm shed.
Moonlight burns. It's almost Christmas. It's almost Christmas. Being good and all the eggshells and coffee grounds will be yours. Can I meet the family? You overstepped. No Christmas.
The hairless twin escapes captivity in the episode Fresh Air, but Peter is ready to take him out with a shotgun.
Oh no, my hairless twin got out. Hello, family. Let's eat all the garbage we want.
Holding his own brother captive for years and years in a tiny shed, depriving him of sunlight and all human contact, might be one of the cruelest things Peter has ever done. And the fact that I'm saying a might be speaks volumes as to the true evil things this man has really done. His actions, though, here would definitely get him charged with false imprisonment, and the penalty is 4 years in jail and 20K in fines. Forcing his twin to live in such dire conditions and feeding him actual garbage would also be considered a form of torture, and that crime would add another 20 years and 10K in fines to Peter's sentence. Don't eat food you find in the parking lot, guys. Peter took a chance on a discarded taco in the episode Mom's the Word, and, well, he had a little accident.
Finally, now I can get myself to the...
That was hilarious. Peter admitting to being involved in a major terrorist attack wasn't so funny, though.
Somebody saw me holding hands with a guy at Quiznos this morning. All right, and was I involved in the Oklahoma City bombing? A little bit.
The 1995 Oklahoma City bombing was the deadliest act of domestic terrorism.
Apparently, if you press the aim button while holding this thing down, it'll drill instead of launching you.
Kidnapping the Pope just to imprison him.
Like Adam.
Help me. This is the most reckless thing you've ever done.
Pope made it back to the Vatican safely, but Peter would still be facing 20 years in prison and a $10,000 fine for kidnapping him. Opening the airplane door would also add 7 years and $5,000 to his sentence for reckless endangerment. The seatbelt signs were on, so nobody got sucked out with Peter, but how did he even survive the fall anyway? Peter will screw his friends over any chance the dude gets. He's already obliterated Cleveland's house way too many times to count and pimped out Quagmire, but what's the worst thing he's done to Joe? Well, there was that time Peter wanted to buy Meg a car that matched her personality, but since he's a terrible father, he treated himself to a literal tank process and didn't look where he was going.
And you got a feel for the controls. Now give it a little gas. Oh, see?
Oh my god. Joe can't feel pain in his lower body, what Peter did would still be considered vehicular assault. But the jail time at that time is going to be insane because the dude has 7 more people we gotta account for in the show.
Hit and run by a drunk driver today at Coan Park. 2 children are missing.
Just
Like the first time detected a fever.
I'm not so sure about that.
I know how many beers I can drink and still be able to drive. I figured it out. Nobody has to get hurt, Brian. Only one person has to get hurt, Brian. Close my eyes and make all this go away. Holy crap!
Oh my god, Mr. Turtle, you alright?
Do I look like I'm all right? My back is broken and my leg is twisted.
The penalty for almost turning people into roadkill is normally 3 years and $100,000 in fines, but if the driver was under the influence, it gets bumped up to 6 years and $500,000. So for running down 8 people, 5 of them whilst drunk, Peter would be jailed for 27 years and fined $1.8 million. He'd also be banned from driving pony, but I'm sure the idiot would still find a way to kill people via bicycle. There are plenty of more heinous crimes Peter has committed against children that we need to discuss. Let's start with crimes he's committed against his own baby. And no, I'm not talking about that time he thought his boobs could produce milk. I'm talking leaving Stewie in a boiling hot car.
Where is Stewie?
Oh my god, he's gonna miss the game. Not changing his diaper for weeks.
There's so much duty in here. I can't take it anymore. Even 4 days, because I just can't fit anymore in there. Help me.
And literally using him to make his junk appear bigger. Peter was jealous of Chris's massive wang.
Nice, huh? Yeah? You like this?
You're upset because Stewie.
He's around. Get me out of this stink-filled corduroy dungeon. It's okay. He's outside the underwear.
Those clips would get Mr. Griffin charged with 1 count of child endangerment, 1 count of child neglect, and 1 count of child abuse. Moving on to children he's not related to, Peter once caught his wife trying to molest Justin Bieber, but instead of
Choosing a core will just show what explodes out of it when you detonate it. I chose the hot dog last time.
Griffin gave this teenager a knuckle sandwich as well.
But what I think you really want is love.
Assuming both kids were under 18, Peter's responsible for 2 counts of assault and minor. We also charged Peter with child endangerment again because he had a very short.
Time for rebirth number 2. 3, 2, 1.
Here's the Drano in case it's a clock. Soap's right there next to the radio, and towels run
Against kids have earned Mr. Griffin 49 years in prison and $1,504,000 in fines. Peter should be more worried about Stewie Duke and other men for getting slaughtered by an army of angry believers.
This is gonna hurt.
Interesting life, to say the least.
My wallet.
You're all stupid. See, they're gonna be looking for me to maintain.
A pimp.
You don't work that much. You're trash. That's the truth.
And even a horse breeder.
But Death Bridge.
But I think he had the most fun that time he became a pirate. In the episode Long John Peter, Brian is taken to the vet with stomach pain. Instead of being on the edge of his chair, sick with worry, Peter becomes besties with this character.
To my house.
Peter, someone's pet you.
Well, maybe they never know what you got.
Brian's stomach obstruction gets cleared. It was a used diaper he mistook for Indian food. But Peter is too busy playing pirate to care.
Hey, Brian, look. Brian said, get your key.
Chris, I'm not going to the vet.
It's Long John Peter to you, porthole.
Look at the parent's face. He hasn't even spent 24 hours with Peter Griffin, and he's already completely done with life. After presumably getting kicked out of the house for smelling like pirates, Captain Peter and his sea dog crew head to Coleman's pharmacy to commit their first pirate raid.
Just know Peter and his merry men come seeking plunder. All you tax-medicated pirates be ours. Oh, my God.
The crew flees the blown-up pharmacy and move on to their next victims. We heard a British guy carrying crates of sugarcane, tobacco, and spices. A dangerous cannon and sword-fighting filled car chase ensues, which kills an electrician. so.
Again. Why? I didn't understand that. I said shoot it again, but I said it was pirate like.
Also, Peter wants to see some crimes that could actually be classified as piracy. Still, he can be charged with 2 counts of armed robbery, like 5 counts of property damage, 1 count of manslaughter, 1 count of murder, and 1 count of reckless driving. All those crimes get Peter thrown in jail for 101 years and fined $1,781,000. But he's way more upset about losing his pet parrot.
Sir, we've got a man down. Oh my God, Adrian Pinky, say something.
Meyer and Mr. Herbert perving around constantly, it's easy to forget that Peter Griffin is also a massive creep. Let me give you some examples of how truly grotesque this guy can be. In the episode Jungle Love, Peter gets drunk and plants his bare frickin' butt on one of Meg's friends.
Oh, Lois, by the way, we're out of toilet paper.
Now we begin. Will assault Aswood, spanking 3 of his teammates without their consent in the episode Patriot Games.
Yeah, come on, good game. Let's get out there. Let's do it. Yeah, buddy. 110%. Huh? Come on, let's go. Let's go. Good game.
4 count will assault could land Peter in jail for as long as 40 years and also be fined $40,000. Moving on to the episode Boopity Boppity, a flashback shows Peter playing a game of Mysterious Intruder with Lois.
Did you like that game of Mysterious Intruder, Lois?
I don't know who you are, and my name isn't Lois. Mine is. Let's do it again.
The scene heavily implies that the woman was, so we need to add another 10 years and $10,000 in fines to Peter's sentence for that. Next, we need to add 6 years and 10 grand in fines for 2 counts of voyeurism.
Okay, both the towel. Both the towel. Oh, it's part of me. Sorry, return it.
Oh, that's okay then.
Don't know any better.
Oh, bless your heart.
Please, did you hear me a second ago? I returned it.
Oh, you're just curious.
In Airport 07, the O also decides to become a redneck and tries to do what he thinks all rednecks do to their daughters.
What are you doing?
Meg, I'm a redneck, which means I am about to do something to you that you will not remember until you're 40. Come back here. I meant...
Saying something so creepy and inappropriate would be considered harassment, and that means another 5 years and $1,000 in fines need to be added to Peter's sentence, and the pervy acts toward his own children don't even stop there, unfortunately. Going back to the episode Fresh Air, Peter finds out that Chris will be getting all of Carter's inheritance when he dies, and in a desperate attempt to secure some of the dough for himself, he asks his own son for his hand in marriage.
I have something very important to ask you. There comes a time when every man looks at his son and thinks, I want to take this to the next level. Chris Griffin, will you marry me?
What? Chris even says yes, because the dude just wants to spend time with his dad.
Then yes, I will marry you, Dad. Oh, that's wonderful news.
Peter then drives his kid all the way to Vermont, where incestuous marriages are legal, at least in the show, and on their way there, he confesses to committing zoophilia.
So now you know my complete sexual history, Chris. I'm surprised you got fooled by a bear in a wig. It wasn't a wig, it was a hair system.
Fortunately, Lois showed up in time to stop the wedding and reclaim her husband, but Peter simply attempting to marry his biological child can be legally considered, even if activity took place. Mr. I tried to marry my own son for money just earned himself 3 years in jail and $10,000 in fines. Screwing an actual bear will add another 20 years and $10K in fines to the zoophile sentence. And as if all those crimes weren't nauseating enough, Peter Griffin is also just a literal pedophile. Let me explain. In the episode The 2,000-Year-Old Virgin, Peter and the guys are sent out to help Jesus lose his virginity. When speed dating fails, Peter decides to create a Facebook forum, but when he opens his laptop, he realizes he forgot to close the CP he was watching last night.
A lot of POV stuff. Yeah, I like to pretend it's mine down there what's doing all the slapping.
Peter, how old is that girl?
Excuse me, won't you? Another scumbags out today.
Possession of CP carries a penalty as high as 25 years in prison and a fine of $250,000. So all in all, Peter has earned himself a whopping 109 years in jail and $331,000 in fines for being the very definition of human trash. Calling Meg the black sheep of her family would definitely be an understatement. Extremely abused punching bag would be more accurate. Meg is also one of those ancestry DNA tubes you just spit in.
Everybody spit on Meg.
On baseball.
Oh, God, Meg, you startled me. I'm sorry.
What the hell's your problem, you dumbass?
A fart smeller.
And you're a fine smeller, Meg.
A warm, toasty fire.
Hey, Meg, don't be such a hothead.
What?
Hey, Meg, you sure look today's. What? Hey, Meg, I lit your scalp on fire.
And a girl who's on sex.
It's one of them. Stealing jobs from hot-working people.
Oh, and soup.
Meg, your mother made soup for you. There you go, honey.
There's also assaulted Lois a few times in the show as well.
Hey, Lois, you want some beans with that, right?
While the scope of the show duty is for domestic assault, while the penalty should be lower than regular assault, it is. So for 11 counts, Peter would be only heading to the clean for 110 years as opposed to 220. He'd also be getting fined a measly 11K, which is honestly more insulting than throwing that stupid peg. Now, if you don't already believe that Peter Griffin deserves the electric chair for all of his crimes, allow me to present to you with his most evil act yet, having the most rancid breath in the universe.
Right, so this is because you made me natural that you can see really doubly in these folks. Hey, there's going to be a quiz on all this later. Just kidding. Someone said that to me once, now I say it.
While almost killing your coworker, this death breath should be considered attempted murder. It's not. However, there are plenty of action.
Alright, I think the game might have glitched.
Example,
For some reason, I don't have a box after the second one.
In the episode Hell Comes to Quahog, Peter tried to vaporize Lois on the spot with his new tank.
Let me show you how the gun works.
In Family Guy, he tried to shoot her as she collected the mail. In the courtship of Stewie's father, Lois asked Peter to bond with Stewie, but this wasn't exactly what she had in mind. Peter has also tried to blow Mork's brains out. Morning, Lois. Stabbed the Dr. Hartman.
Oh, that was unnecessary but cool.
Fired his fishing crew. Literally.
So serious.
It would have succeeded in murdering Quagmire if Chris hadn't been out joyriding.
Chris, I am very disappointed in you, and you are grounded, and we will talk about this after I kill him.
Peter carries a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison and a $1 million fine, so it looks like Peter will be heading straight to the slammer for 160 years.
He went to a show with
$80 million to pay.
Eileen, and he says that groceries are going to be here between 4 and 6.
He's the fracking goat.
Hmm? He didn't say.
Kill yourself! You started to do. Heads up! Heads up! Heads up!
Punch me in the face.
I'm doing great. I was really sorry to hear about your dad. Oh, that means a lot. I'm sorry I couldn't make it to the wake. I was out of town.
It's okay, man. It's for the flower.
In these shipping reports filled out by fine confidential.
Peter knocking his boss's lights out for merely expecting him to work while he's at work is honestly relatable. I don't think any of us can relate to committing 9 counts of assault, though. If you do, be considered anger management. All those assault charges are going to get Peter fined $6,750,000 and shipped off to the stomach loads for 184 years.
Peter had a freaking blast that time he worked at Burger King.
I work at Burger King. I make my more poppers. I make paper. Ask me what the fuck is that for my dad?
But he has way more fun just slaughtering people.
Hey, Chris, hey, remember that kid you said was bullying you at school? Well, here's his head. It's not even him. That's the deaf kid. Here's your phone. Oh, it's true. It's a tumor for corn.
No,
has to answer for, including his own son. What the heck?
I was kind of right.
That's approximately everything that Peter Griffin has to answer for, including his own son. What the hell? The penalty for murder can be 25 years in Rhode Island, so let's add 750 years to this killer's sentence. Also, he's got just $30 million in fines to pay. He can try and sell his stuff, but I mean, the only valuable possession he owns is the Peter copter, and that's only worth like, what, 100 grand? Peter Griffin is totally useless at basically anything that is not related to being fat and abusive. I mean, this dude can't even cover his own farts by coughing.
We've had complaints, and I have spoken with the school. Is there something you'd like to say, Mr. Griffin?
Peter's almost impressive ability to screw everything up means he's a ticking time bomb, and walking calamities like him should never be allowed anywhere, especially not near kitchens.
Holy crap! Oh my god, and that also means
Water parks. Game shows. Real old people.
blow you.
Oh my god, is he breathing?
And I'm so sorry I broke all your ribs and busted your spine and pushing your lung. I don't know if you can hear me right now, but I love you, Dad. Come to us. I need to send you. I hear Dad. What is it? Fat, stinking drunk. Oh my god, he's dead.
Air vents.
Oh my god, he just crashed into the
Ocean.
cannonball.
Peter's also killed a guy with his thinking grenades.
That might work.
He killed a guy with his pet T-Rex.
Just now fetch. Ew, it's got spit all over it.
And killed a literal baby by entering a brain-damaged horse into the Quahog Derby race.
Wait a sec. Hold the phone. He's going back towards the track. Fellas, this race ain't over yet. It's over.
The tsunami Peter triggered by jumping into the ocean must have killed around 500 people, and the rest of the people who perished because of his stupidity. And Mr. Griffin's looking at 15,870 years in the slammer for manslaughter. Oh, also a colossal $264,500,000 fine. I will never get over him accidentally cooking the kids instead of dinner. Lois will never ask him to help around the house again. At this point, Peter might as well call property damage his full-time hobby because the dude is destroying stuff all the frickin' time and always in the most stupidest of ways.
I smell everything. I'm invincible.
Another $1.25.
Is that right? Keep the change.
But all that property damage pales in comparison to the legendary battles Peter fights against Ernie the Giant Chicken. And we
I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing.
to these
I'm just running around like a mad chicken.
Unknown caller.
This is a reminder that you haven't had.
If we're considering every single item Peter has destroyed throughout the entire show, regardless of how trivial, he'd be definitely looking at least 1 million counts of property damage, and that's being generous. That would earn him at least 3 million years in the big house, and an insanely hefty $50 billion fine. And that's all of Peter Griffin's evil twisted crimes, guys. Not making a part 3. Maybe. We tally up all the jail time and fines he's racked up in our last video on Peter Griffin. Peter's looking at a brand new grand total of 3,493,716 years in jail, plus $57,959,273,200 in fives. He's definitely one of the most wanted villains in all of not just Quahog, but really the world. I ask you, dear viewer, though, how does this sentence compare to other characters? We'll click the screen to find out. Thanks for watching. That's a clown I painted, so you know I'm truly insane. Stewie has all those torture devices, but he only really wants to do one silly thing to his victim. Because you're going to eat my shorts. Ew! Nelson actually swallowed those shorts, and that cannot be good for his digestive system. When it's time for the Griffins to head back to Quahog, Stewie has a little surprise to give them apart.
You kidnapped him?
I kidnapped all your enemies. Nelson, Jimbo, Principal Skinner, Sideshow Bob, Apu. I know Apu's not your enemy, but I just wanted to say I took Apu.
And that terrified look on Sideshow Bob's face, like, I really wonder how he got kidnapped. I'm scared. Bart is not impressed since he's not, a psycho like Stewie is. He lets his enemies go and cuts his new friend off.
Stewie, I don't think we can be friends. You freak me out.
But if we don't keep in touch, I'll myself.
That's what I'm talking about. Later, dude.
Later, dude. I'm honestly surprised that Stewie didn't get angry and laser zap Bart right then and there, dude. According to Rhode Island law, kidnappers can receive up to 20 years in the slammer, plus a fine of up to $50,000. As Stewie kidnapped 5 people, he could be looking at 100 years in prison and a staggering $250,000 fine. The thought of a strange man coming down the chimney on Christmas Eve can frighten children, but there's really nothing to worry about. Unless Santa's been replaced by Stewie, in which case you should be very scared. Brian takes Stewie to visit Santa at the mall, but the meeting is ruined when the bad guy gives him the brush off big time.
Wait, what are you doing? Santa? You can't leave now. Hey, wait, buddy, we've been alive for like 2 hours.
Sorry, done. You want your kid to sit on my lap? Meet me at the bar at Applebee's.
Oh, that sucks. Sorry, Stewie. Son of a...
By the visit, Stewie vows to Santa Claus and forces Brian to drive him to the North Pole. They reach Santa's workshop, only to find it's not so magical after all.
I started with one family of magic elves, and every year I needed more and more to keep up. Now they're just a sickly race of mutated genetic disasters. At least 60% of them are born blind.
A few moments later.
Santa then collapses, leaving the deliveries up to Stewie and Brian. What could possibly go wrong? The two of them reach their first house of the night, but instead of putting the presents under the tree, something not so jolly happens.
What are you doing at my house?
We're Santa Claus.
Yeah, you're Santa Claus. That's why you broke in through the window. I'm calling the cops.
Hey there. How you doing?
Who are you?
I'm Santa.
You're Santa?
Who are you? Where's Dad? Oh my God!
Mommy!
It's okay. Brian, see if you can find some duct tape. Oh my God. All right, that's the last of the blood. Go check on the other kid. What other kid? Johnny, the one who's getting the bat.
Stewie, there's only one bedroom up here.
What? Do you have a brother? Well, then who the hell is John? Oh my God, we're in the wrong house.
Great, now that poor little girl will need therapy every time she hears the word Christmas. The whole world wakes up the next morning to no presents, which means Brian and Stewie officially destroyed the holiday. Way to go, guys. 4 crimes took place in the episode Road to the North Pole: trespassing, kidnapping, and double homicide. Stewie's prison sentence for this could be as high as 121 years. Next time, just leave Christmas to Santa, Stewie. We were all expecting Stewie to at least 1 or 2 people, but the baby actually ended up becoming one of the worst serial killers in human history, and he's probably your favorite character at least once.
Just checking in. I'm gonna have to spend the rest of my life in a wheelchair.
No, you're not.
All those people is very much a terrible thing to do. There are 3 episodes of Family Guy where I think we see Stewie Griffin at his worst. Halloween on Spooner Street was Family Guy's very first Halloween special. In this iconic scene,
I think we look hot. Totally hot.
overshadowed a diabolically evil act Stewie committed that night.
Alright, you undead bastards, time to send you back to hell!
Yep, Stewie just maimed dozens of innocent trick-or-treaters. But the two worst acts of terror occurred in the same episode. Mr. and Mrs. Stewie. Stewie meets his match made in hell, a girl named Penelope, who is just as evil as him.
You there? Would you like a piece of candy?
They wreak havoc in Quahog together, committing wicked acts like blowing up Mort. Eventually, they move on to super evil stuff, like annihilating the entire city of Copenhagen. That was a 1920s themed tsunami, and nuking Asia and Europe, obliterating millions of people and turning landmarks to dust.
I see. We're on quite a run. The Great Wall of China, bombed the Eiffel Tower, and look at this note I sent off.
Up yours. Love, India.
Let's see what happens.
Brian thinks Penelope is a bad influence and tells Stewie to break up with her. Pissed, Penelope orders Stewie to Brian, and when he refuses, she takes matters into her own little evil, sinister hands.
Step aside.
Penelope, I can't let you do this. I can handle this myself. Alright, Stewie, tag him.
After bruising and stabbing each other for a good few minutes, I was hoping Stewie would finally win the fight, but this happens instead.
Stay away from my dog.
I shall, but just one thing.
What?
I'm gonna tell my friends I banged her. She just tried your dog, dude. After scratching my head for a good 5 to 10 minutes, I've concluded that Stewie's count is approximately 700,600,052. The maximum life sentence for murder in Rhode Island is 25 years, so if my calculations are correct, Stewie's facing 17,515,1,300 years in prison for his crimes against humanity. At this point, the other 481 years seem pretty insignificant. Anyway, click the video on screen and find out how this sadistic character compares. Thank you for watching. Almost every Family Guy character has their own criminal past. But what if we were actually trying to justice of the terrible things